let's face it, if you're navigating the business world today, you are, well, probably swimming in data.
Oh, definitely.
It's just coming from everywhere, right? And trying to make sense of it all can feel pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, impossible sometimes.
That's really where we come in. Welcome to the deep dive. We try to be your shortcut to understanding the stuff that truly matters without, making your brain hurt.
Exactly. And today, we're tackling something that's absolutely critical for any organization, especially if you're putting in a big system like the new Infor Cloud Suite ERP.
Right.
We're talking about data governance, why it's so vital, why your data is such a huge asset, and, well, the real benefits of having clean, consistent data. No duplicates.
Absolutely. Now, for you, our listener, the learner, we know your time is valuable. You need the key takeaways without getting, lost in the weeds. So we're going to break down why smart data management isn't just a nice to have. It's actually fundamental. It can give you a real edge, especially if you're building on something solid like Infor Cloud Suite ERP.
It really can.
And I saw this statistic, it really jumped out at me. Something like 82% of senior business leaders, they report that data silos are actively stopping them from scaling up or moving quickly.
82%. That's huge, isn't it?
That's massive.
And it really highlights a central problem. So many companies have tons of data, just vast amounts, but it's stuck in different places. It doesn't talk the same language.
Right.
And it ends up holding them back. So in our deep dives today, we'll explore how a strategic way of managing this, especially with a new ERP, can, well, completely change the game.
Turning it from a headache into an advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A real competitive advantage.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. Why is data so crucial? I mean, it sounds obvious, but let's really get into the core of it.
Well, it's almost become a basic truth now, hasn't it? In today's business world, data is really the engine for success. Companies that really lean into being data-driven. They're seeing some pretty impressive growth. I've seen figures over 30% annually.
Wow.
But it's not just having the data, It's about how well you actually use it.
Absolutely. And it's not only about boosting revenue, is it? It really affects how smoothly things run day to day, the efficiency.
Precisely. Yeah, we see a direct link with something called Master Data Management, or MDM.
Okay.
Organizations that put in MDM software. They typically see about a 15% improvement in just their overall operational efficiency.
15%. That's quite a chunk of time back for the team collectively.
It really adds up.
But it sounds like, despite knowing this, a lot of companies are still sort of struggling with the basics. I saw some pretty worrying stats on that.
You're right. It's a bit of a disconnect. We all know data is important, but a huge majority, like 81%, they still don't have a proper data strategy.
81%.
And then think about data migration, which is often key when you get a new ERP. A massive 83% of those projects either fail outright or just blow past their budgets and deadlines.
Ouch, that's a high failure rate.
It is. And then, to top it off, 84% of organizations feel like they just don't have the right platform to really use the data they do have.
Wow. Those numbers really paint a picture, don't they? Big challenges. So how do Infor Data Solutions, especially working with Infor Cloud Suite ERP, start to tackle these problems?
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. Infor Data Solutions are basically designed specifically to help companies get over these hurdles. The goal is making sure data is clean, accurate, and crucially, actionable. And a big piece of this is the Infor Data Mesh data governance solution. It's built to work seamlessly with Infor Cloud Suite ERP.
Okay, data mesh, that sounds interesting. What is that in simple terms, and how does it connect with Cloud Suite?
Think of it as a different way of thinking about managing data instead of one giant central pod.
Right, the old data warehouse idea.
Exactly. The data mesh is more distributed. Different business areas, sales, finance, whoever, they take ownership of the data that's most relevant to them. Now, Infor Cloud Suite ERP, that provides the strong, reliable base. That's where you actually store and master the really crucial business data. So the idea is pushing control closer to the experts.
So Cloud Suite holds the core data, but the mesh helps manage and govern it, but in a more spread out yet coordinated fashion.
Got it, exactly. And when they work together like that, you get some really big wins, like real-time data access, much better scalability as your data grows, and really solid governance, so you know the data is trustworthy and compliant.
Okay, so what makes the Infor approach different, compared to other ways people might try to govern data in an ERP?
Well, there are a few key things. First is the core master data integration. This means really centralizing those absolutely vital bits of data customer info, product details, supplier records, right inside Infor Cloud Suite ERP.
Right.
This gives you that single, consistent view of the really foundational stuff across all the systems that need it.
That sounds like it would cut out a lot of mismatches. What's another key part?
Then there's the decentralized data governance. Now, even though the ownership is with the business domains.
Like sales owning sales data?
Exactly. There are still central standards and rules everyone agrees on. The system checks data in real time against these rules. It tracks the data's history, its lineage, so you see where it came from and what's happened to it.
Oh, okay.
And it even helps automate the mapping between different systems. Think of it like different departments in a library managing their own sections, but all following the main library rules.
So local control, but within a common framework. That sounds like a good balance. What else is unique?
Another really important piece is the automation-driven data cleansing and transformation. This is huge when moving to a new ERP. You often have loads of old data from legacy systems, and frankly, it can be a mess.
Oh, I bet.
The Infor solution has advanced ETL capabilities that's extract, transform, load.
Right, the data moving steps.
Yeah, the process for moving and prepping data. It lets you automatically clean up and standardize all that historical data for the migration. And, just as importantly, it automates a lot of the repetitive data-fixing tasks going forward. Saves a ton of time and hassle.
Automation seems key there. For efficiency, and probably fewer mistakes too. What's the last differentiator?
And finally, it's the scalability and efficiency built into the whole architecture. It's designed to handle data across different regions, different parts of the business, without slowing down.
Okay.
This flexibility optimizes how things run and really cuts down costs by getting rid of those redundant tasks we talked about.
So putting it all together, these features make sure the data in Cloud Suite isn't just there, but it's actually useful and trustworthy.
Precisely. Good data governance within Cloud Suite means that as data gets shared around, it stays clean, it stays secure, and it follows the rules and workflows you set up. It basically locks down the quality of those master records going forward so you don't see things degrade after you've done all that cleanup work for the migration.
That makes total sense. You do all the work to clean it. You don't want it getting messy again straight away.
Exactly. So that golden record we talk about, it becomes the single reliable version everyone trusts, which is, the whole point of good governance.
And I think you mentioned a data mesh platform that helps store all these rules and things.
Yes, that's right. The platform is like the central library for all the governance stuff. The integrations, the quality rules, the workflows for changes, the approval steps. It makes everything transparent and auditable.
Okay.
And a really key part of this are the customer data stewards. These are actual people in the business who are responsible for the quality and governance of specific data areas.
So it's technology plus clear human responsibility.
Exactly. And it's really important to stress, good governance, when done right, shouldn't slow the business down. Actually, by making processes smoother and data more reliable, it should speed things up.
That's a common worry, isn't it? That governance means bureaucracy.
It can be, if done badly. But here, it actually helps. Plus, the whole process creates really valuable assets like a data glossary, clear definitions for all your business terms, and a data catalog, which is basically an inventory of all your data.
Those sound incredibly useful just on their own. Could you maybe walk us through a quick example, like a typical workflow for changing data?
Sure, yeah. So let's say someone needs to update a customer's address.
Yeah.
They'd start a data change request in the system.
Okay.
That request then automatically goes to the right regional data steward, the person responsible for customer data in that region.
Got it.
That steward, who knows the rules and the context, reviews the change. They check it against the governance rules, make sure it's accurate, and then they either remove it or reject it.
So there's a check before it goes into the main system.
Exactly. It ensures that changes are validated and don't mess up the data quality.
Okay, that makes the process really clear. So we've covered why data matters, why governance is key in Cloud Suite ERP, but what's the real payoff? What are the actual tangible benefits of having that clean, harmonized, deduplicated data?
The payoff. It's significant. So Infor Data Solutions has tools to help get you there. It starts with data discovery.
Finding out what you actually have.
Pretty much. The system analyzes your master data, helps standardize terms and definitions, and gives you a clear picture of your data quality right now, your starting point.
Okay, so step one is understanding the current mess, potentially.
Well, yes. Or just understanding the landscape. Then comes data cleansing. This is where the system automatically finds and fixes or flags for review data that's wrong, corrupted, formatted weirdly, or just missing.
Like typos, wrong dates, missing postcodes.
All that stuff. Those little errors seem small, but they can really trip up processes and analytics down the line.
Garbage in, garbage out, right. So what about getting rid of duplicates? That's always a big one.
Absolutely. That's where data mastering comes in. This is the process that really tackles duplication, harmonizes the data from different places, and builds that single source of truth we keep mentioning.
The golden record.
The golden record, exactly.
Yeah.
Uses automation to spot likely duplicates, helps merge them correctly to create that best version, and does thorough validation across all sorts of domains, products, customers, suppliers, even HR data.
Wow, a golden record. That really does sound like the holy grail of data management. So, okay, you have this clean, trustworthy data foundation. What does that do for the business? What are the direct benefits?
Oh, the benefits are broad. You get faster decision-making, definitely, because reliable data is ready for analysis almost in real time.
Right?
You get reduced redundancy, automating processes, less duplicated effort across teams. It helps with scalability across domains, managing huge, complex data sets, even globally. You obviously get improved processes through better data quality management. It helps consolidate knowledge by bringing expertise together, and overall, just better business and IT coordination.
It sounds like it touches almost every part of the business.
It really does. Clean data means smarter choices, leaner operations, and just a stronger position overall.
Are there specific ways this translates to, like, the bottom line, specific value drivers?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We usually talk about three main value drivers for data governance. First is reduce cost.
Okay. How?
Well, lower operational costs because you spend less time manually cleaning data or fixing errors. Less revenue leakage from bad data, like incorrect pricing. Lower compliance costs. Even reduce fraud risk. It saves money and stops losses.
So direct impact on profitability, cutting expenses, and preventing lost money. Makes sense.
Exactly. The second one is increased revenue and gross margin.
How does clean data lead to more revenue?
When your data is good, you have less redundancy, you understand it better. It leads to smarter decisions, right? Better strategies. You might even find ways to monetize your data. Marketing campaigns become way more effective with clean contact info. Clean demographic data might reveal new customer segments you didn't even know existed.
So better insights drive better strategies, which drives revenue.
Precisely. Better insights, better outcomes.
Uh-huh.
And the third driver,
What's the third one?
higher productivity. It's pretty straightforward. When data is reliable and easy to find, your teams waste less time.
Less time hunting for information or fixing mistakes?
Exactly. Less rework. They can focus on their actual jobs, the more strategic stuff. Staff are just more effective.
Okay, those three: cost reduction, revenue increase, productivity boost that's compelling.
Yeah.
To make it really concrete, do you have an example, like a specific process where this makes a big difference?
Yeah, a great example is the Infor Vendor Product Update Solution, or VPU. Think about how companies get product updates from suppliers, pricing, new items, etc. It's often really manual, isn't it? Time-consuming, lots of room for error. Maybe pricing doesn't get updated fast enough in the main ERP system.
I can picture it. Spreadsheets flying around, manual keying. Yeah, sounds error-prone.
Totally. And that impacts margins, inventory accuracy, everything. So VPU automates that whole thing. Receiving the vendor data, cleaning it, mapping it, mastering it, getting it into Infor Cloud Suite correctly.
Automation again.
Yes. And the results. We've seen customers cut the labor costs for managing these updates by up to 85%.
85%? That is huge.
It's massive. Plus, they get much better product data accuracy. Less margin bleed because pricing is right, and vendor updates happen way faster, which is critical for managing inventory well.
And how does it get the data? Is it flexible?
Very flexible.
Okay.
You can pull data from standard EDI feeds, flat files, even scrape it from vendor websites or PDF catalogs if needed, and you can schedule it to run automatically as often as you need. No manual steps required.
Wow. That really brings it home, doesn't it? The power of clean, harmonized data flowing right into your core system. It's not just abstract good data. It's real, tangible business improvements.
Absolutely. It takes a process that can be a real drag and cost center and turns it into something smooth and efficient that actually helps the bottom line.
So just to kind of wrap things up here, we've really dug into why data governance is just so essential, especially when you're bringing in a system like Infor Cloud Suite ERP. It's clear it's not just about the tech itself, but about having that foundation of clean, reliable data. That seems to be what really drives success across the board.
Precisely. We've talked about why data itself is so fundamental for growth and efficiency, and how something like Infor Data Solutions offers this a modern, more decentralized way to manage it all,
Right.
which ultimately helps companies adopt cloud faster, get better business outcomes, cut costs, and really boost productivity.
So for you, the learner, listening in, as you think about your own organization's data situation, maybe ask yourself, what potential is just sitting there untapped in our data?
Yeah.
How could a really strategic approach to governing that data unlock serious value, give you that competitive edge you need for, long-term success and growth?
Where could better data quality make the biggest difference for you?
Exactly. Think about those specific areas because it really isn't just about managing data anymore. It's about shaping your future.